Good afternoon, good afternoon. Attention. The last stretch before we go and celebrate Women's Day tomorrow. Yay! As we are going to Vende. Thank you so much. I hope all you have some great time during the breakaway sessions. It is unfortunate that due to time constraint, we won't be receiving feedback from the sessions. I think the program organizer will guide us in terms of how are we going to get the feedback on the outcomes of the breakaway session. Perhaps we capture those on the meeting report. We are in our last session on leveraging transformative potential of NCA, and I would like to welcome Ms. Flora Mukhotlwa, the Deputy Director General from the Department of Forestry, Fisheries and the Environment. DDG, as we call you, may you kindly ascend to the stage, and she will tell you more about herself.
Good afternoon, everyone. As Ntaka indicated, I work for the Department of Forestry, Fisheries and the Environment, and I have the unenviable task of being in charge of biodiversity and conservation in the country, which is something that you've been deliberating on since yesterday and today. And you can imagine that when you are in that position, there's lots of specialists. I just came out of a room with specialists that work on lions, and you can talk about them differently from if you're discussing cycads tomorrow, or otherwise you're discussing vultures, or otherwise you're discussing the different types of biomes that we have in the country also. So it's quite a very vast field that is got lots of opportunities, especially for those that are in the research space, that you can channel yourself towards any passion within the biodiversity field. I always tell people that I find this field so interesting in the sense that I get to learn on a daily basis. Every day, I promise you, I come across an article, I come across a journal somewhere, I read and I expand my knowledge base in respect of all the areas in relation to biodiversity and conservation. This is a Thursday afternoon that feels like a Friday afternoon because tomorrow is a public holiday that celebrates all of us. Us, eh? And in actual fact, I think these guys should be coming to work, ne? Yeah. And we stay at home. But we appreciate that we are here this afternoon to have this last session. I have been following some of the discussions that have been going on since yesterday and today. And I think as a country, we have really advanced quite a lot in respect of the natural capital accounting, especially since the strategy was completed in 2020, I think it was. And next year we will be going into the review, as I understand it, and I'm sure that we will have a much more exciting forum next year because we will be taking stock of how far we have come, what have been the lessons learned, and how can we improve the next phase of implementation up to 2030. So that's going to be a very exciting period, and I'm sure that in the review process we will all be engaged so that we can then provide input in terms of how far we have come. I'm then going to invite Amy to come up to the stage, and then she will be able to give directions in terms of then what happens next. Amy?
So, good afternoon, everyone. I am just doing a short introduction to this. Unfortunately, Dr. Rashida Davids couldn't be with us today, so she's done a recorded presentation, and yeah, it's very interesting to listen to. This is, I think, linking back to what DDG was saying about the National NCA strategy. This is part of Rashida's postdoc, and it's rare that we get an opportunity to really do like deep reflection with a research partner. And so it's been wonderful to partner with the University of Pretoria and work with Rashida on this. It is still research that's underway, so what she's presenting here are the findings thus far, and there are still some things that's interview based. There are still a few things that need to be validated, but it's fabulous to kind of see what's coming up as we go. Just two things. Rashida introduces me as the EI for Water Security project leader, which I am not. That's Jennifer Zungu. But when we were working together, I've been the Natural Capital Accounting project manager in the EI for Water Security project. And the other thing, I think that there's one of the things that came up in one of the interviews was sort of some sort of connection between water accounts and the environmental programs, which I think we need to go back and have a look at that. But it's full of interesting stuff, so I'm going to press play in a moment, and you're very welcome to ask some questions afterwards, and I'll do my best. But we'll just take note of them and pass those on to Rashida if there are any questions. So let me press play. And
Hi everyone, I'm Rashida
is
Davids,
it loud
and
enough?
I'm so pleased to share this presentation with you on leveraging natural capital accounting for transformative impact in South Africa. So my research is really looking at pathways to impact related to natural capital approaches, and the present focus is on transformative potential for NCA and biodiversity mainstreaming for sustainable development, looking at a range of pathways to impact, including impact assessment, theories of change, systems approaches, scaling of